Welcome back, guys. This is Building a Million One Day at a Time. Today, let's talk about your budget. So in our last video, we talked about if you don't know what you're spending your money on each month, you need to write that down. So today, I've created a budget for you, and it's linked down below. It's a Google Sheets. You can get on and follow along with us if you've never done this before. If you want something a little more sophisticated, there's a few apps out there you can download. The one I would suggest is Mint. You can link your bank account to it, and it'll build that for you automatically. But first of all, let's jump into this one that I've created. So the budget is, first we're gonna see income. So income, there's 8 sources of income out there. They say most millionaires use between 4 and 6 of these different incomes to be able to create their net wealth. So the first one is earned income. Now this is a job that you have. It's a W-2 job where you get paid either by the hour or salary each month, okay? The average salary for an American is about $4,000. So let's just put that in there for earned income. Second is residual income. Now residual income isn't, I guess, used quite as often as the other ones, that and one other one, but residual income is something that you did a job, and because that job is done, you get paid every month for that job, okay? So let's say for me, I was out door-to-door sales. Every account that we brought into the company, they would give us like 60 cents per account for the life of that account, as well as paying us up front for the account. So if over time, if we had 1,000 accounts, that 60 cents would add up and we'd be making a decent amount of money every single month, okay? So let's just skip that one. Capital income, that is if you purchase an asset and the asset goes up in value, you would have to pay, or you would get a capital income from that. Now you have short-term capital gains and long-term capital gains if it's under 12 months or over 12 months. But say we have sold like a house, you'd have a capital gain there of whatever it went up in value, okay? Rental income, again, if you own your home, great. If you have a rental, great. That's where you would put in the income for that. If you don't, keep saving up so we can get into those incomes of rental income. The next one is royalty income. Now this is the one kind of like residual, where there's not a lot of people that have royalty income coming in. This is if like you're an artist and you created something, and every time somebody goes to use that, they have to pay you a royalty, such as like lyrics for music, a tune, like a graphic art, something like that. You'd get residual or royalty income from that every time someone uses it, okay? The next one is resell. Now this one's fairly common. So say I went out and I bought a chair for $10, and then I decided I didn't want to keep the chair, so I sold it, and I sold it for $20. That would be resale income, and I would have made $10 there off that. So let's say we went out and we bought something for $100, and we ended up selling it for $150, and we made a $50 income this month. Dividend income, so we talked about getting into the S&P 500. So if you did do that, or if you haven't done that yet, there's a link below to Robinhood. You can get a free stock by opening up using my link. Let's say you already did open that up, and we put $100 last month into the S&P 500, the VOO stock, or index, and it gave us a 0.6% dividend. So on that $100, we made $6 this month. And then we have interest income, which let's just say we had money in the bank account and it made 0.001 and it gave us a couple pennies, or we had a CD or a money market account, which was giving us 0.7% interest, and we have some interest there from this month. Or let's say we got really into it and we opened a Blockfi account, and there's a link below to the Blockfi. If you want to use that, you can get up to $250 of free Bitcoin when you deposit $100 or more into your Blockfi account. But let's say we put $1,000 into Blockfi, okay? And we converted our USD cash into stablecoin through Gemini, and that was a USDG, and they're paying 8.6% interest on that. So this month alone, we would have made $86 on our $1,000 in interest, okay? So that puts us at $4,142 of earned income this month, okay? Now we go down to our expenses. So the average American spends about $950 between a mortgage or rent. So let's say we did that. If you're renting, you're not gaining anything from that $950. If you have a mortgage, then you are building equity every month and you're continuing to grow that net wealth. So good job. Next is food. The average income, or the average household spends about $550 worth on food every month. And that, again, that's gonna differ between your family size and if you're eating out more, if you're eating at home. Electricity, the average American is spending between $77.25 on electricity every month. Depends on what appliances you use and if they're natural gas or if they're electric. So natural gas, we're spending about $38.30 a month. Again, here in Utah, I've got my water heater, my furnace, and my stove that all run off of natural gas. But that differs in the summer versus the winter, so we just average it out to that $38.30. Internet, everybody has internet in the home now, and that ranges between $47.25. You have to have internet to be able to watch your Netflix and Hulu at night. And then gas for our car. This has been going up in the last few months after the election. Every election year, it seems like gas drops, and then after the election, it goes back up. So the average American is spending about $65 a month in fuel. Okay, insurance, this is actually just car insurance. This isn't health insurance or homeowner's insurance. If you have a mortgage on your home, then that's already usually rolled into your mortgage, and it's good to have renter's insurance, but this is just for our car, okay? So it's about $96.25 is what the average car insurance is. And then everybody has a cell phone. We can't leave our homes without them. The average cell phone is about $58.45, okay? And then this could be anything that we expended out throughout the month. So let's just say it was $100, okay? So if we look here at the end of the month, we're sitting at about $21.59.50 left over after expenses, which is great. We could put this up into our savings right here. If we did spend too much, so let's say we had an expense like I talked about in my last video about emergency expenses. Let's say it was $2,500 for some odd reason. It would turn red. It's a negative $240.50, okay? So let's try to keep that in the green. We'll put that back to $100, okay? So now we can flow this up into our savings, $21,590.50, okay? Again, if we went and got a Robinhood account last month and we put the $100 into it, we'd have $106 with our dividends paid out through the VOO index. Again, we went and got Blockfi and we put $1,000 in there. So we have that $1,000 worth of cryptocurrency through whether it's USDG or Ethereum or Bitcoin. And then if we have an IRA, Roth, or if we have a 401k, that's great. We could add that in here, okay? So, and this one doesn't have that built in, so let's hurry and do that. So, okay, so now we have our net worth at $3,265.50, which is calculated over here as well, which is great. But we haven't added in any debt. So if we have student loans, if we have a car loan, if we have rolled over credit card debt, if we have our mortgage, or if we have any other debt that we have, we'd put that in here. That would total up and that would deduct from our net wealth. So let's just say we have $500 in student loans, we have $2,500 in car loans, and we're renting still, and we're good enough that we didn't put any money on our credit card. Obviously this wasn't built either. Let me hurry and do that. This would change our net wealth to $265.50, which you're in the green, so that means you're good. And this will just continue to grow every month, okay? So it's very important to make sure that we do know what we're spending our money on every single month, okay? So keep track of this, use this, Google Sheets if you need to. If you want to use something else, feel free, but you need to be keeping track of this every single month, if not weekly, to know what's coming in and what's going out in your finances and to track your net wealth. If you know what's going on, you're going to be more honed into what you're spending your money on, and it'll help you continue to build that wealth. So thanks for watching today. If you liked this channel, go ahead and subscribe down below, hit the like button, the notification bell. I will try to upload a video every week on building your net wealth and how to build that $1,000,000 one day at a time. So thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.